Have you ever pushed so hard for something, only to find that the more you push, the further away it seems? Welcome to a lesson from the past that speaks volumes to our present. We're diving into the life of Miyamoto Musashi, a name that has echoed through the centuries, not just for his skill with the sword, but for his profound strategy of life itself. His approach, a delicate dance with destiny, teaches us the art of not forcing our way through the world. Before we slice into the wisdom of this legendary swordsman, take a moment to hit the subscribe button. Join us on a journey of timeless lessons that might just change the way you face your battles in and out of the arena of life. Stick with us till the end of this video, and I promise you, you'll walk away with a perspective that's as refreshing as it is ancient and as simple as it is revolutionary. A perspective that doesn't just cut to the chase, but lets the chase come to you at the right moment. So let's set the stage for an encounter with Musashi's philosophy that may very well alter the course of your struggles, turning them into harmonious victories. This is the art of not forcing, a guide to aligning with life's natural rhythm and your own path to success, taught by a master whose teachings have transcended the test of time. Welcome to the art of effortless power. In the tapestry of Japan's rich history, there's one figure who stands out when we talk about mastery and strategy: Miyamoto Musashi. Born around 1584 in a period fraught with samurai battles and political upheaval, Musashi would grow to become Japan's most revered swordsman, a true warrior philosopher. But who was this man, and what has made his legacy so enduring? Musashi was more than just a master of the blade. He was a sculptor of the mind. Orphaned as a child, he learned early that life was a battle that required more than just physical strength. From the age of 13, when he won his first duel, until his self-imposed hermitage, Musashi was not only honing his skill with swords, but also his inner self. He believed that the way you fight your battles mirrors the way you live your life. Living through the Sengoku and early Edo periods, Musashi witnessed the transformation of Japan from a war-torn country to a unified state. This era, so pivotal in shaping Japan, was also instrumental in shaping Musashi's thoughts. He didn't have the luxury of stability and peace. He forged his philosophy in the flames of constant conflict. His life became his dojo, where every encounter was a lesson and every challenge was a chance to practice his art. Though he was a fearsome warrior, his most significant battles didn't always happen on the field. They occurred within. By understanding his environment, knowing himself, and mastering his mind, Musashi's strategies were cultivated. These strategies, these insights into the human spirit and struggle, would be crystallized in his later years into texts that continue to resonate with us today. So as we venture further into Musashi's world, remember that his lessons come from a place of lived experience of countless duels, not only with opponents but with life itself. His words aren't just for reading, they're for living. And as we'll see, the backdrop of Musashi's life gives us a canvas on which we can draw our own paths to mastery. At the heart of Musashi's philosophy is a simple yet profound concept: not forcing. But what does that really mean, especially in a world that often tells us to push harder, do more, and never stop? To not force is to move with life, not against it. It's about understanding that sometimes the best action is calculated in action. In his book, The Book of Five Rings, Musashi talks about the way of the warrior. But this isn't just about fighting. It's about the harmony between knowing when to act and when to pause, when to speak and when to stay silent. It's a dance with the rhythm of situations, sometimes swift, sometimes slow, always purposeful. This philosophy doesn't tell us to be passive, far from it. It encourages us to be acutely aware of our surroundings, to understand the flow of things before making our move. It's like a river that flows around a rock, not through it. The water doesn't force its way. It moves around obstacles naturally without struggle. Musashi believed in timing and precision. He saw force as a last resort, not a first response. If you've ever watched a great athlete or performer, they make their craft look effortless. That's the essence of not forcing. They're not wrestling with the moment. They're in tune with it, using their energy where it counts, not wasting it. So as we apply this to our own lives, think about how you approach challenges. Do you charge in head first, or do you step back to see the bigger picture? To not force is to cultivate a sense of patience, to trust that with the right timing, the right approach, and the right understanding, The path forward will often reveal itself without the need for struggle. In the chapters to come, we'll explore how Musashi put this idea into practice, how it shaped his legendary duels, and how, perhaps, it can shape the way we navigate the duels we face in our lives every day. Delving into the life of Musashi, we find teachings and stories that illustrate his principle of not forcing. These aren't just old tales. They're blueprints for handling life's many battles. Take, for instance, Musashi's famous duel with Sasaki Kojiro, known as his most formidable opponent. Kojiro was a master of the long sword, his technique nearly unmatched. On the day of their duel, Musashi intentionally arrived late, a move that seemed disrespectful but was strategic. It threw Kojiro off balance, his mind clouded with anger. Musashi had begun the duel before even drawing his sword. When they finally faced off, Musashi wielded a wooden sword, carved from an oar, longer than Kojiro's blade. He hadn't chosen a weapon to overpower Kojiro's strength, but one that capitalized on timing and distance. With one mighty strike, the duel was over. Musashi didn't win by force. He won by strategy, by understanding his opponent, and by controlling the flow of the encounter. But Musashi's teachings go beyond physical confrontations. He spoke of the way, a path that applies to swordsmanship and life. To walk this path, one must train diligently, observe deeply, and act with integrity. For Musashi, life was not a series of random events but a canvas for practice and perfection. He emphasized knowing the way of other professions, which meant understanding the world beyond the sword. To not force one's way through life, one must appreciate the rhythms and patterns in different areas, be it art, business, or relationships. By seeing the connections between disciplines, we develop a well-rounded approach that allows us to move through challenges with grace and precision. Musashi also believed in self-reliance. In his later years, he retreated into solitude, reflecting on his life and penning his thoughts. This wasn't an act of surrender, but one of ultimate control. By stepping back from the world, he honed his philosophy, crafting a legacy that would guide generations to come. Through these stories and teachings, Musashi shows us that the art of not forcing is about aligning our actions with the natural order of things. It's a reminder that true power comes not from brute force, but from understanding, patience, and the strategic application of our skills. As we navigate our own lives, these lessons encourage us to pause, to reflect, and to choose our actions wisely. For in the art of living, as in the art of the sword, it is often the subtle, measured moves that make all the difference. As we delve deeper into Musashi's insights, we see his philosophy doesn't exist in isolation. It mirrors principles found in other walks of life and schools of thought, proving that the concept of not forcing is a universal truth that transcends time and culture. Consider the Stoics of ancient Greece and Rome, who championed the virtue of living in accordance with nature. They, like Musashi, taught the value of working with the current of life rather than against it. They believed in focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot, a sentiment that echoes Musashi's teachings of strategy and adaptability. In the East, Taoism speaks of Wu Wei, often translated as non-action or effortless action. It's the idea of acting naturally in harmony with the flow of the cosmos, much like water that finds its way around obstacles. This Taoist principle aligns closely with Musashi's approach of not forcing, suggesting a universal wisdom in the art of letting life unfold without resistance. Even Sun Tzu, in the revered military treatise The Art of War, underscores the importance of flexibility, understanding the terrain, and choosing the right moment to act, all hallmarks of Musashi's strategy. Sun Tzu's counsel to know oneself and one's enemy is a direct parallel to Musashi's emphasis on self-awareness and understanding one's adversary. Musashi's philosophical insights remind us of the power of adaptability. In a world that often feels rigid and unyielding, his teachings encourage us to be like water, soft yet strong, yielding yet persistent. He understood that the rigid tree breaks in the storm, but the flexible reed bends and survives. His lessons are not just about waiting for the right moment. They're about creating that moment through patience, timing, and a deep understanding of the situation at hand. The idea is to cultivate an inner quietude that allows us to see things clearly, react appropriately, and move with purpose without unnecessary struggle. By examining Musashi's insights alongside these other philosophical giants, we can start to see a pattern, a thread that weaves through the fabric of human experience. It suggests that perhaps the most potent action is not one of force, but one of strategic alignment with the forces that already exist around us. As we strive to apply these teachings to our own lives, we are encouraged to think not about pushing harder, but about understanding more deeply, not about forcing our way through, but about moving with wisdom and insight. It's a lesson that's as applicable in our personal lives as it is in the broad strokes of history. It's not just philosophy. It's a practical guide to living effectively and gracefully in any arena we find ourselves. In our modern world, you might wonder how Musashi's principle of not forcing can fit into our daily lives. We're not swordsmen dueling on a beach at dawn after all, but the essence of his teaching is about the strategy of living wisely, which is timeless. Think about the last time you were in a rush and couldn't find your keys. The more you scrambled, the more they seemed to elude you. Then you took a deep breath, calmed down, and suddenly, there they were, right on the table where you'd looked 3 times already. This is a simple example of not forcing at play. In today's fast-paced environment, our challenges are often about managing time, handling stress, or navigating complex social dynamics. Applying Musashi's principle, we can approach these challenges more fluidly. When you're swamped at work, instead of powering through lunch and risking burnout, perhaps the not forcing way is to take a step back, recharge, and tackle your tasks with renewed clarity and vigor. In relationships, not forcing might mean not trying to fix every issue right away, but giving time and space for things to settle. Sometimes the best way to resolve conflict is to let go of the tug-of-war rope. It doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're allowing the solution to emerge without the distortion of tension. And what about personal goals, like fitness or learning a new skill? Here too, Musashi's principle applies. Crashing into a strict diet or an intense workout regime often leads to a snapback, a rebellion of the body and mind. But a gentle incorporation of healthy habits, a gradual learning curve in acquiring new skills, that's the art of not forcing. It's sustainable and it flows with the rhythm of your life. The modern application of not forcing also calls for mindfulness. In a world saturated with information and demands, it's about knowing when to engage and when to step back, when to speak up and when to listen. It's about using our energy smartly, not scattering it to the winds of every trend and urgency. Musashi's legacy is not a call to inaction, but a call to strategic action. It's a nudge to look beyond the surface, to align with the deeper currents of life, and to act with intention and wisdom. By embracing this principle, we can navigate our world with a sense of calm and effectiveness, turning the practice of not forcing into a powerful tool for personal and professional fulfillment. As we adapt the ancient wisdom of Musashi to the demands of the 21st century, we can find that the art of not forcing might just be the secret to a balanced, successful, and harmonious life. As we draw the curtains on our journey through the life and teachings of Miyamoto Musashi, let's pause and reflect on the essence of what we've explored. The art of not forcing is more than just a tactic for ancient swordsmen. It's a timeless strategy for anyone who seeks to navigate life's battles with grace and effectiveness. We've seen how Musashi's approach, his strategic patience, his mindful observation, and his mastery of timing, can translate into powerful lessons for our modern lives. These lessons remind us that often the strongest action we can take is to align ourselves with the flow of circumstances, to act with wisdom rather than brute strength. Remember, not forcing doesn't mean giving up on your goals or relinquishing your drive. It means being strategic about how you achieve them. It means cultivating an inner stillness that allows you to see the world more clearly and to move through it with a sense of purpose and ease. Take a moment to think about where you might be forcing in your life. Is it at work, in your personal goals, or in your relationships? Consider the possibility that stepping back and applying the principle of not forcing might just be the key to unlocking a more harmonious and successful path forward. We hope that the lessons from Musashi have inspired you to approach your life's challenges with a new perspective. As you continue your own journey, remember that the power of a well-timed pause, a deep breath, and a clear vision can never be underestimated. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of the art of not forcing Miyamoto Musashi. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights into life strategies, And if you found value in this video, consider sharing it with someone who might benefit from these ancient wisdom made new. Until next time, walk gently, observe deeply, and strike when the time is right.